It was a Monday before Christmas, and suddenly a woman walked into Lentz Health Center where I was sitting, and she was very pregnant, and she said, "I don't have a doctor. Can you help me?" And I thought, oh my. This felt a little bit like an emergency to me, not for today, but for this week, because I knew how hard it was going to get to be somebody on the 22nd of December. So I called a clinic where I knew there would be some people and said, "Can you get me an appointment for her? She doesn't speak much English." They said, "Yeah, after Christmas." I said, "No, we're going to need something sooner." She gave me another name and a phone number at St. Thomas Hospital. And I thought, St. Thomas Baptist, and I thought, this might work. I called them, and I said, "Can she get in?" And the woman said, yes. I took her over there. They immediately put her in the hospital. And before I realized it, I was leaving. She seemed safe. I knew what she was doing. It was no longer an emergency, and I knew there were people who were going to take care of her. Well, I checked on her 4 days later. It was Christmas. But I suddenly had an inkling that I ought to check. I could hear a baby crying in the background. That baby was born. And she was in good shape. She felt great. The baby was doing fine. There were no problems. Whew, I thought, what a miracle. And she said to me in broken English, "I think you're the godmother." I said, "I think God has you in mind as the mother, and you're going to do a great job because you were taking care of yourself." What that says to me is that no matter where we are, there are people around us of all places from around the world, right here in Nashville. They're beyond our family, beyond the people we feel responsibility for in our jobs and in our family and even our close friends. But there are people who could use our help and maybe what we know about being alive, being around here for a while. And I think that says God has all these children in the world, and they're right now here in Nashville, Tennessee. And what can we as individuals do with whatever skills we've got and what other time we have available to help? The driver for me? Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's God. Yeah. I mean, no doubt. God blessed me with some skills and a brain that still works at my age. And I figure I got to use it. And I use it for people I know and care about in many ways. But I also think I got to reach out to those people who, right here in our city, we have thousands and thousands of immigrants who are most challenged by what I do. They don't know how to begin. They're used to coming from countries where they could get health care, no matter what their income was, even if they had no income. That's not true here. I mean, the person I worked with this morning was 84 years old, and she'd been denied TennCare, not because she wasn't eligible, but because she hadn't been able to understand the letter and figure out what document was missing. So I worked with her. I said, "What do you have at home?" She said, "I have all these papers." And I said, "Go home and get them and bring them back." And we had it all together, finished, organized within 30 minutes. They say to me, "God sent you to me." Well, I didn't know who they were until they walked in the door, okay? And then I just began to do this. I said to Lentz, "Can you find a place for me to work as a volunteer once a week for a couple of hours?" And then the pandemic started, and I realized I could do a lot of it by telephone, which made some things much easier. Because it's all about documents, and most people don't know what to do with them, and that's all it's about, is proving things. And it's pretty simple when you know the guidelines.